point.
I mean, it could be TLBH who finds the point back. It's hard to tell between these two teams. They're equally matched, but it has been in favor of FCAP for quite some time in these past two games. As we come to this third one, let's see, because JP might just be giving first blood over, and Ogwin finds it with a single auto attack. That's first blood for Falcons AP BREN.
That displacement is so annoying, right? From Dio and
Counter?
Yeah, with the flicker, it's okay. That's a spell wasted, but they want to go at it again, seems like. Carl TZ in position to give out damage.
Yep, and they're going to try once more, and they do find the kill onto Ogwin finally. Carl TZ, again, really nice, very patient with his spells as well. He doesn't mind losing a bit of farm timing just to make sure that he can actually secure this kill. And with that kill back, that puts him in the lead ever so slightly in terms of goal. But in the meantime, Kyle TZ has just been power farming. He hits level 4 before Carl, and Carl's like, I don't care about level 4. Level 3 is good enough for me.
And very different in the spell department as well, right? Usually because of the crowd control that usually drafted by the coaches. Now it's just all flickers, no purifies on the board finally.
Yeah, no purifies. Everybody has flicker, and then there's FlapTZ who was like, I got vengeance, guys. It's me. I got vengeance.
Yeah. Well, 2 minutes here elapsed. Falcons AP BREN and Team Liquid still very even on that kill, but they want to fight top lane.
Yeah, but Sanford once again trading very effectively against FlapTZ, but you can overextend when you've caught Ogwin playing this Matilda. For now, it's going to be Carl TZ as well as JP holding priority, as Sanji could open up the map with the Astral Echoes here. You see Few. Carl's going to be able to secure this no problem. It looks like JP... Wait, hold on. The penalty zone coming back against Few. Few wants to actually secure this kill, pulls JP back, and Carl tries to push it, but his Spear of Alpha catches two, kills Samford with the true damage, and Carl all by himself. There isn't enough sustain just yet in the early game for TLBH.
Oh, the passive from Kyle was just so on point, and take a look at FCAP. Now, they lost the turtle, but they got to fight, and now they claim the orange buff as well. So that's less resource for Carl TZ.
Really unfortunate here, because again, TLBH, certain heroes are stronger in the early game, other heroes need time to scale. Oh, Spear of Alpha doesn't connect. Carl TZ has split Carl and Sanji into two. He's going to get moved backwards, but not a full commitment just yet. Even though Kyle TZ still has the retribution, secures the Little Wanderer.
And Team Liquid here, they are low-key starving, right? They are struggling to find resources, especially in Carl TZ's perspective here. Bot side though, not bad. Not bad. Florian babysitting Benikuti, and yeah, Benikuti has been farming same like Super Marco.
Yeah, and Sanford not opting to go for the engagement there, knowing that at any time Ogwin can save them with the help of that guiding wind. Spear of Alpha does connect up towards Benny, forcing him to flicker out. He does knock him back just in time, but at the cost of his flicker. These small leads being generated by Falcons AP BREN are going to be useful later down the line, as Carl TZ forced to use the enhanced sword to get out of there.
Yeah, JP used the bloom as well, right? His ult to make sure that Benny
tell that the majority of the battle spells for the side of Falcons AP BREN are available. Here they come. Ooh, SOD, not even close. Kyle blitz it down in time. And now Falcons AP BREN making sure that no man's land, this river, is fully under their control.
Team Liquid here struggling to find compensation. Even Carl TZ struggling to farm in his own jungle.
Spear of Alpha does connect onto Benny QT as they try to go for the dive. Astral Echo already committed, but the Vengeance is keeping FlapTZ alive, but he still gets melted down. Ogwin caught out of position. By Star Shatter, and still makes it out with the help of the Circling Eagle. Penalty zone. Flicker from Samford to make sure that nobody escapes.
That's a little overkill and also overcommit. Right on towards the roamer. Sanford, a little too personal there, buddy. But Team Liquid, they want to grab more kills. They take anything, right? They're technically desperate, but they're a-okay. Carl TZ, Bloodwind secured. Now I want more kills. Carl TZ, he needs those kills now more than ever.
Well, I don't know. I think the strategy might just shift, because Sanji right now is 2-0. FlapTZ and as well as Kyle see Carl. He gets on out of there, and it looks like Falcons AP BREN have adjusted to make sure their entire plan is to starve Carl out. Like, Flap has been taking away camps some of the side creeps as well, while Carl Teasy is making sure that his own jungle is clear.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I mean, Falcons when they are reading Team Liquid's rotation, map awareness as well is on point here for side of Falcons AP BREN. And Carl Teasy, very little to no resources to work around with, though. Falcons AP BREN now, they are moving still. Focus on towards the bottom side of the map. It's a 2v2 for most of the time, being the roamer, just hovering around, providing support. And well, for the two marksmen, technically, right? They are, well, Benny to assist, but no kills for both markmans.
Yep, Sanford, the markman.
The markman.
I think that Kyle has been like marking men consistently at this point of time, right? His Spear of Alpha is Flap is in so much trouble. He has no escape mechanic. He has to block even the Vengeance as well. And while this is happening, the turtle is currently being taken care of. Penalty zone right on top of Few. He quickly pops his ult by a little bit of extra time, and Sanford gets yoinked backwards underneath the turret. Kyle could look for a trade here, as Sanford is now in trouble, even committing the retribution. Once again, Jushin telling Terizla, nah, you never get to run away from me.
Oh, the kite, man. Are also JP popped that boom as well. So even with JP supporting the heals, it seems like Sanford will be taken down.
Oh, Carl Teasy is in some trouble. He gets bailed out by JP once again, forcing that ult so soon while the cross-map play coming in from Super Marco nets him a tier 1.
I gotta say that Carl Teasy so composed still on this Julian, right? Knows even know what to do and where to go. Falcons AP BREN, 1,000 gold lead. It's nothing for Team Liquid. Right now, we have entered the mid game. Let's see though, Falcons AP BREN, they have more leg room, but Team Liquid, they are now, I think, more ready. Take a look at Benny, 2 items. So technically, he needs more time to really be online, but he is comfortable to maybe take on trades and more fights.
Like, he's getting there. He's getting to that critical mass very soon when you look at the items, but even in terms of gold, he's not too far behind, right? Because by, like based off of how Team Liquid BH played against YRG, by the 8th minute, it's very clear who has the gold lead, but Falcons AP BREN have only generated a 2,000 gold lead.
And structure, right? I mean, Falcons AP BREN, they're ahead in the turret. So Team Liquid, yeah, they have less space here. Let's see what they can do though. Benny QT still perfectly fine. It's a Moskov game. He will pop off in the mid and late. Hopefully for Benny QT's sake, let's see Falcons AP BREN, how do they counter this, right? They are slowing down their tempo. They realize let's not waste resources because the Lord is up.
Now keep in mind that TL2H, they're waiting to scale. Sanji needs to scale, Benny QT needs to scale, but especially JP. Once he gets that evolved bloom, it's going to give him so much value. Well, I'm talking about Benny QT because he auto-attacks so much. Jushin is going to be pulling Call TZ back, allowing Flap TZ to start cutting them in half. Sanford is forced to engage in the penalty zone, but he's caught out of position and can't get back to regroup with his team. He ends up going down with the Lord Slain, allowing Kyle to get into the mix with a Spear of the Alpha. Flap still not down, and Carl is going to get yoinked backwards once again. Owen is able to flicker out just in time, and that's going to be Flap going down, but now Super Marco comes in the mix. He's already found 2. Can they get one more? No. They finally stop. This mid-tier 1 is going to fall under the pressure.
Man, another win for Falcons AP BREN. They get the Lord, and they get 2 members of Team Liquid. And now Team Liquid, yeah, what they can do is just stay alive and just protect the inhibitors. If possible, the inner turrets, but if not, let's just save the inhibitors. And Falcons AP BREN, what an opening as well. Flap TZ, shout out, he popped the Vengeance, so Benny can really basic attack while he's on Vengeance. He doesn't want to lose that trade.
Yeah, and because he has the Vengeance, he doesn't have an escape mechanic like a Flicker or even a Sprint. So that's when Oakwood keeps saving his life. The last couple Oasis has already gotten so much value at this point in time. Oh, Carl just forced to walk away. That's the beauty of this Jushin. Really draws the line in the sand for you. This mid-tier 2 might be in some threat, but the wave is going to get cleared out as we see a tier 2 down bottom side falling under the pressure of the minions.
Team Liquid here trying to restabilize. Falcons AP BREN very happy with the space that they're getting. And Yeah, take a look at the Lord advantage, right? 6,000 gold lead and almost to a 10K gold lead, but they want to fight.
Yep, they want to take this mid-tier 2 as soon as possible. They do find Sanford, and unfortunately, he's going to get swept under the rug with the help of Spear of the Alpha. Ogwin ends up dying to the pierce damage coming in from Benny QT. A nice play. This was the on-hit damage we were talking about.
It's starting to show in game, right? The duo from Sanji and Benny, the damage is there. Both magic and physical damage. Team Liquid, yeah, they're ready to fight. 3 items already. Benny has hit his power spike. So, Falcon Safety BREN, your formation, your strategy, you need now to think twice.
Oh, and we're not seeing anybody buying anti-heal just yet. The most that they have is few with this glowing wand, but I'm not seeing dominance ices either. At this point in time, I think that Team Liquid, PH, are in a position where they can start taking these fights, but they really have to take their time here because most of it is just waiting out the vengeance from FlapTZ or whether or not Ogwin is actually going to pull them out into safety with the help of the guiding winds.
And on the other side, right? Let's talk about Super Marco here. Wow, 2 kills. Yeah, 2 kills. Yeah, I mean, technically he's a Roger Windtalker. Endless Battle, Malefic Roar, that is more than enough, right? Already. Some might build a Thunderbolt, but now I think Super Marco, he just wants damage, right? He wants pure blood. Let's see here. Lord, it's going to be an enhanced one as well. Team Liquid, seems like they want to contest.
Yeah, Sanford at this point in time just needs to be a frontline tank. He needs to be able to absorb as much damage as possible, but his items aren't really helping him. He hasn't completed a full second item just yet. He does have a cloak and half a dominance ice. At this point in time, FlapTZ is the biggest problem. That front line cannot hold. Few making sure that he's drawing the line in the sand. Doesn't get hit by the chain. Sanford now in some trouble as the wait, Carl ends up getting pulled back. The hand sword into the penalty zone, trying to create some space, and now the Spirit Alpha does connect. They're pushing through. Carl TZ is down. SOD connects, but they don't want to pull in. As Few once again breaking apart TLPH.
TLPH got the Lord, but they lost the fight. Falcon Safety BREN, they understood their mission. Taking down Carl is their main objective, and once that is done, yeah, it's just all over. Now the Lord is irrelevant to this push. Falcon Safety BREN still in full control, and they might take a mid-tier 1, tier 3.
I mean, Few, he's just absorbing damage, making sure that that minion wave stays healthy. This inhibitor is such a big win for them despite losing the Lord. And they don't mind this, right? This is why the Lord dance has turned into a Lord tango. You're not dancing with the Lord, you're dancing with your opponents.
You're right. And with that, 13 minutes in, Falcon Safety BREN, they have recovered. It could have gone worse, especially, right? They lost the Lord. Sanji was the one who stole that Lord, but yeah, that formation, that line, holding the line, Falcon Safety BREN, they were able to output more damage. And Team Liquid, they weren't in prime position to recover. So let's see here. Gold graph says a lot, but Falcon Safety BREN has been leading since what, minute 6, I believe, and it has not changed. Team Liquid here, no real answer to neutralize on the economy.
I think they need to burst down Jushin, right? I think Jushin is just such a pain to deal with. Like FlapTZ, yes, eventually they can whittle him down and outlast him, but this Jushin really extends their lead. Because the longer they hit any other target other than the Jushin, she's just building stack upon stack upon stack, and then once the displacement comes through, you have to either commit to the engage or waste a battle spell just to get out.
Yeah, that's why Jushin is so annoying and easier said than done though. Yeah, you need to target Few.
Annoying talaga yung hero niya.
Maybe based on Sanford, I think, with the flicker play, right? You commit onto it to Jushin. Hopefully the follow-up damage is there and maybe then Few will go down. But then again, that's also Sanford wasting a flicker. Not if the kill wasn't delivered.
The only way that they, oh man, now the more that I think about it,
it's hard.
It's really difficult, right? Because think of what the chain CC would mean. Sanford would have to hit the penalty zone. Carl would absolutely need to hit the non-enhanced chain. He needs to go for enhanced slice to double up on that damage. And even JP needs to throw out his snare just to ensure that this kill comes through. If not, Ogwin's going to keep him alive with the Flask of the Oasis. Not to mention with the favor that he has on his Roam Blessing.
Forget it, yeah, with the guiding wind as well, right? That extra flicker, if you has no flicker or spends his flicker. So again, it's easier said than done, but I believe there is always that one window that perhaps Fuel is going to be vulnerable. Let's see though, Team Liquid, will they be able to find that? You've been seeing Roger and Super Marco and Ogwen just traveling together. It's to provide, just to provide cover and as well as vision as well, right? Falcons AP BREN, they do not want to lose this lead because of a solo kill onto a Super Marco.
Well, let's see how they're going to play this out. Astro Echo is going to spot. Oh no, the penalty zone does not connect. And now Few is going to disrespect the pulls. Easy back, forces him to use the enhanced sword. He's going to be out of commission as Benny QT is getting chunked out, forcing out the ult, making sure that he's healed up. And now even Carl TZ going in the back trying to steal this away. It resets at the wrong time. It's over. And Super Marco is able to steal it away. Lord is slain. SOD is out. And TLPH decide we're going to go all in. Find him. Don't stop. Benny QT online with the enhanced plume. They managed to pull through 2 for 1 in favor of TLPH.
It's a deja vu like that last Lord, but switch the teams, right? Team Liquid, they lost the Lord, but they got the fight. And now with the Lord marching mid, technically Falcons AP BREN, they will push without Kyle and Flab. So technically, this Lord will not be much of a threat.
Oh boy, so many resources used just to disengage, but they still win the fight. We now see the angle. They just need space for Benny QT to get more auto attacks down. Rather than Super Marco chunking them out, right? Because Super Marco had to turn his attention. He wasn't hitting heroes. He was looking at the Lord. He's like, we can't lose the Lord just like that.
And think of the Benny here. No shoes. He has committed to another item, and that is the Rose Gold. So yeah, they have, or he has security in the magical aspect and as well as the physical aspect with that Wind of Nature. So again, Benny QT, we saw what he can do earlier. Falcons AP BREN now very, very cautious in proceeding the next step.
Yeah, now this is the dangerous part, right? Because now all the heroes who needed that extra bit of time to scale have gotten to either max items or max level. We look at Falcon's AP BREN. Few, he's doing a good job at pulling people out of position, but FlapTZ is running out of time. The same can be said about Kyle, but it's not up to him, right? His true damage is always going to be relevant throughout the game. For TLPH, JP has finally scaled. He's got 3 items down. Benny QT, maxed items as well. Sanji starting to hit like a truck.
Yeah, that's another, more factors, more layers now for the side of TLPH, but it seems like they will still contest the purple.
They don't mind it. Carl TZ, at the end of the day, does he really need that purple buff? Not so much. And I mean, yes, Kyle is able to steal it away, but at the same time, Carl is already in max items. He doesn't need the extra gold other than just to juggle these items.
Another factor here, I think, FlapTZ needs to time his vengeance well, properly, right? Because if he popped it prematurely, Benny saw and has the info that there's no vengeance on Flap, he can just go ham and just go crazy with the auto attack. So yeah, that's another thing that FlapTZ needs to be aware of. Don't pop the vengeance too early.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble, right? Because again, he scaled off. At this point, he's just a chunky front line, and maybe he can pull somebody out of position with the help of the Molten Sights, but that really comes down to the micro here. The Lord is evolved as we're heading into the 20th minute of this game. TLPH have finally scaled, but they haven't successfully won a full-blown team fight and wiping out Falcons AP BREN. The most that they've gotten is a trade up.
Yeah, both teams ready to fight. Taking with the ults and spell checks. Okay, Falcons AP BREN rather, they are looking for that window. Maybe this is the time. This is the kill.
Oh no, Sanford getting continuously pulled out of position. But luckily he goes for a full tank build. He doesn't mind, but he's waiting for the opportunity to find the penalty zone. He goes for it, doesn't connect onto anybody yet, and TLPH break out from the choke point. Falcons AP BREN getting poked out time and time again by the Star Shatter from Sanji.
Yeah, they need to be careful though. Far lane is Falcons AP BREN's. Team Liquid, they cannot contest, but the Lord will be reset.
Oh, Sanji, he's trying to manage 2 waves at once. It's not looking like a good idea here, as Kyle has all the space in the world. Once again, you see Sanford out of position, pulled back thanks to Jushin, forced the flicker forward. Owen also forced as he's jumped forward as well. And Carl, he's taking the damage, forced to take the sword. They had swords. This Few is getting everything out of TLPH for free.
Oh my goodness. The Lord Tango. Again, now let's see here, Lord, another reset by Falcons AP BREN. They're taking their time, waiting for TLPH to pull the trigger. Sanford now, no flicker still. Perhaps Team Liquid, they want to claim more space here in the Lord's Pit.
I'm not gonna lie, this sucks. This sucks for TLPH. They really have no means of forcing it unless Sanford hits a nasty penalty zone. And even so, he has this one problem, getting sucked on backwards. Carl Teasy secures the Lord. Penalty zone finally connects onto 2. Flap drops down the benches, using the multi-side to pull the backwards. He's a little bit low, but Carl Teasy is out of cooldown. They want to get this kill onto Kyle, and thankfully, Kyle still has enough money for immortality. They walk away with the only casualty being the spearhead of TLPH.
What an item switch by Kyle TZ as well, right? Just in time. And they need to be careful. Sure, they will defend this Lord with 5, but if they overextend, am I mistaken a bit? Oh, Kyle TZ overextends.
They found him. They found him. They laid out the trap, and Carl Teasy got a little too comfortable once the Lord was secured. This game is going to drag on, but it does mean there is going to be structural damage for the side of TLPH against Falcons AP BREN, as the gold lead does not matter anymore.
Yeah, it's just all about mechanics on the item switch as well, but wow, Falcons AP BREN, they will manage to defend that mid-tier 1. So that's already a good sign for their side. And purple will go to the hands of Sanji this time. So Team Liquid, again, yeah, they get the Lord, but nothing too beneficial comes out of it. Sure, they got the mid-tier 2 bot side, but nothing too crazy.
We do see a Twilight armor purchase coming in from FlapTeasy. He knows that he's getting bursted down. He knows that he's losing relevance in this game, but the more time that he buys gives Falcon AP BREN a potential angle, if not just the extra bit of time they need for Few to displace someone once again with the Lantern Beacon.
Okay, it's a reset. Team Liquid seems like they are nowhere near, or they want to turtle first. Gather info first here by Sanji and the Ward. Falcons AP BREN, 5,000 gold lead here, also taking their time. Well, what they can do here is, of course, manage his far lane. 1 minute to the Lord, plenty of time to technically manage this wave across from the Lord.
Now, the difficult thing between both of these comps is that they have so much sustain. JP sustains the entirety of TLPH. Ogwin is able to top up his low members every single time they interact with TLPH. It's going to be a never-ending battle. It really comes down to how much value can you get from your ult. And I know that Few, in these past couple of fights, hasn't been getting some like crazy like 5-man ults and is able to like reposition everybody all at once. But at the same time, TLPH has been positioning very well against it.
And I believe so. Team Liquid, I think they can technically defend this Lord push. So maybe they are trying to contest, but not really commit on towards a fight, right? Because technically, if they do end up committing and they lost that fight, yeah, I think it's GG from then and there. But if they contest, hover around, see if there's a possibility to steal the Lord, and then they back off. I think that's the wisest thing to do here if you are Team Liquid PH.
Speaking of wise decisions, FCAP, they've already set up a slow push down on the bottom side of the map. And TLPH want to address this by trying to blitz it down. Who is getting chunked out slowly but gets topped up with the help of the guiding winds from Ogwin. And Sanji, all he has to do is just keep on poking, making sure that that guiding wind is always on cooldown.
And again, a very good response here by FCAP. They annoy this lineup formation by clearing the mid. They might want to fight right here, right now.
Oh, penalty zone doesn't go the way that he wanted to. Even the flicker was committed. It only captures FALCONS, forcing him to use the ult. Displaced once again. Sanford is in a lot of trouble as he gets melted down by Super Marco. Dude gets the Lord, and the next is to fall. And with Flap down, a 2-for-1 trade. They're on the run, but Benny QT has been untouched, unscathed. It's going to be, oh my goodness, that's a lot of damage from FALCONS, but he's eventually going to fall down here to the pure sheer might of Benny QT.
3 members of Falcons AP BREN will fall for a minute. Team Liquid now stands with 3. And again, the Lord will not be a threat. Falcons AP BREN with Owen and Super Marco. Sure, you have that goal later, but no position whatsoever to really have a threat on towards that base, right? So Team Liquid, again, surviving another day.
Oh, I mean, this game is really going to extend itself. The raw sustain that we've seen from both of these teams has been quite extraordinary. This may not be the two-base strat that everybody was expecting to see, but here, between TLPH and Falcons AP BREN, they're bringing it back.
And it's just a matter of Benny QT's positioning. The last 2 fights, I believe, Benny QT, he positioned himself where nobody from Falcons AP BREN can be a threat. And Benny QT displayed another shirt against FALCONS there that was a little bit heart stopping, but Benny QT is in full control on this Moscow. Where should we go? Where should he give output damage? And well, for Falcons AP BREN, for the most part, yeah, we thought that with Sanford using his skills with that penalty zone, I thought that was the opening for Falcons AP BREN, but Team Liquid, they have Benny QT, who is still deathless.
Yep. And I think it's really going to come down to Super Marco and Benny QT to make the difference. Sanford going to get displaced, but now the enhanced sheets and the penalty zone. Fuse in a lot of trouble. He's getting hit with the Pierce damage. Uses his ult to reposition himself, but Super Marco is looking for any opportunity. Like Inform to get him out, and FALCONS quickly with the enhanced swords, they go back to 0. This is just how close both of these teams are. They are so equally matched.
And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Falcons AP BREN, if they do win this, that's championship points. And Team Liquid, they will do anything to not give that championship points right to Falcons AP BREN. 27 minutes we go. Let's go for a half-an-hour game.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be that way, right? 22 seconds left on the clock for the Lord to spawn. And so far, there's a couple of ults that haven't been getting much value. Number 1, the Circling Eagle. We haven't seen Owen get like a quadruple knock-up or anything crazy to set things up for Falcons AP BREN, but he doesn't necessarily need to do that, right? It's about him escaping. It's about him pulling resources away from TLPH, because if he's getting attacked, that means Super Marco might just have the opening.
Okay, it's Falcons AP BREN. Looking for that opening as well here against TLPH. Whereabouts Benny, they can't see. And QT playing it far back.
Oh, penalty zone does land onto Owen, forcing him to flicker away. You even having to use his ult to back up here. Sanford gonna get repositioned, the true damage is melting right through, but that's the one shot on the Super Marco, and here we go! They need to let the SOD connect. Benny QT now in the mix. Few in trouble, the enhanced chains knocks him up. Immortality keeping him alive, but it doesn't matter, because Benny QT is gonna be the difference maker here for TLPH. An opening finally given. Sanford has enough punishment.
The patience, the composure, will it pay off? Team Liquid, finally in this game, they are on the offense.
Now they want to crack over the base. Penalty zone doesn't connect onto anybody. That's going to be a 4-man knockup with Circling Eagle here as the Spear of Alpha. He doesn't want to go in, and that's FALCONS. He ends up dying. A good shot coming in from Sanji, and now the rest of the team want to crack open to make this the opening. Finally, we see TLPH awaken. Let's find a little bit more as the KDA is still going to be farmed. The minions have been cleared up to drag this game just a little bit longer than it should have, and it's still up to Open to make it happen. Despite having Holy Crystals, despite having the Blood Wings, it is just not enough.
A wipeout, and Team Liquid in the 3rd game, they have redeemed themselves. Falcons AP BREN will